Then God said, "Let us make humans in our image, according to our likeness." So God created humans in God's image. In the image of God, God created them. God blessed them. God saw everything that God had made, and indeed, it was very good. Jesus seems to be unstoppable. This is the second day teaching in the temple after his triumphant entry to Jerusalem and turning over the moneylender's table. And he continues to be loud and visible and seemingly against everyone. The temple elite, the Pharisees, the scribes. He lashes out against everyone approaching him, and they back down. This time, however, the Pharisees come prepared. They bring with them the Herodians and a watertight plan to finally get to this person, Jesus. They start by serving heartwarming compliments. "Teacher, we know that you are sincere and teach the way of God and show deference to no one." But then they ask him an unsolvable question. "Tell us, is it lawful to pay taxes to the emperor or not?" Now, what was so difficult about this question? The emperor refers to the Roman emperor. At this time of Jesus' life, this was probably Tiberius. The Pharisees of Jesus' day saw the tribute tax to Rome as a heretical and anti-nationalist capitulation. They were against the Roman occupation, and for them the Torah was more important than any other set of laws. The Herodians, however, were likely supporters of Herod Antipas, who was a son of King Herod the Great, who was king while Jesus was born. And Herod Antipas was Rome's puppet ruler and collaborator. For them, the Herodians, not paying taxes was open rebellion and sedition. So it becomes clear, there is no right answer. Either response is a lose-lose proposition, only differing in the point of accusation the group would use against Jesus in a trial: heresy or rebellion. Jesus, however, senses their malice. "You hypocrites, show me the coin used for the tax." And they do. They pull out a denarius that bears the head of Tiberius, along with the inscription, "Tiberius Caesar, son of the divine Augustus." He forces them to identify the head on the coin and read the inscription, an inscription that hails Tiberius as the son of a deity and as a deity himself. In return for their mean question, Jesus offers them this answer: give to the emperor what belongs to the emperor, and give to God what belongs to God. Well, finally, something that is much easier to understand than everything else that Jesus had been teaching about over the last couple of days. Finally, something clear. The coin has the image of the emperor and therefore should be given to the emperor. So everything that has to do with politics and ruling, economics and money, that is all the worldly realm and therefore the emperor's. Easy enough. But wait. Give to God what belongs to God. What belongs to God? All the faith stuff then, right? Must be. Maybe not. The Roman coin bears the emperor's image. What bears God's image? Then God said, "Let us make humans in our image, according to our likeness." So God created humans in God's image. In the image of God, God created them. God blessed them. And God saw everything that God had made. And indeed, it was very good. So maybe the problem is not solved that simple. If we are the ones bearing God's image and are the ones belonging to God, we also have to give God what is God's. Ourselves. Everything. Not only faith, but our whole life and being with all our actions, every day, every minute. There's no separation between the worldly and the spiritual. Our political opinions, our tax money, our votes in the polling booth are as much God's as all other aspects of our lives. The spiritual realm is a much bigger category, encompassing finance, politics, and virtually everything else. We cannot isolate our political choices and actions as if they don't reflect who we are as image bearers of our Creator. If everything belongs to God, then our spiritual lives and our political lives must cohere. They must not contradict each other, which is to say, what is technically legal isn't always compassionate. What is politically expedient isn't always just, merciful, righteous, or life-giving. Our political leaders are not our gods. Our rendering unto Caesar must always take second place to what we render unto God. Loving our neighbors and caring for God's creation is always and already political, just as any thinking about how our beloved community should be designed is always already political. But it need not be partisan. It need not be mean-spirited. It need not be infused with hypocrisy and false compliments. It need not be driven by schemes to entrap our opponents or to embarrass them. But if Jesus' vision isn't mean, hypocritical, and false, how is it political? It's political precisely in the sense that it involves wanting the best for our neighbors, around the world and across the aisles. It's political precisely in the sense that it starts and ends with the question of whom we belong to, whose image we bear. We belong to God. We bear God's image. And so we are called to a higher politics, above and beyond partisanship, that cares for each other as we care for ourselves, that strives to do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with God and our neighbor in everything we do, including how we build up and repair and maintain our communities. Not easy. Then God said, "Let us make humans in our image, according to our likeness." So God created humans in God's image. In the image of God, God created them. God blessed them. God saw everything that God had made, and indeed, it was very good. Amen.